Hello. I am here outside. They're doing some work at the house, so it's a little loud, a little banging. So I decided to come on here, and it's a little gloomy, but it's beautiful. It's look, I'm with just a sweater, so I decided to come on out because today it got to almost 60 degrees. Hi, cat. 60 degrees. Can you imagine? We're in the middle of winter and we're 60 degrees here in Jersey. Anyhow, wanted to share a few things. Great afternoon. It's been 4 months since Kat and Brenda and I did the Manitou Incline. And I hadn't shared it really, and I'm doing it here in this group because I am not going to share it just now out into the world, because what happened there was really profound. Archie, look at you. How are you? So I'm going to share that, but just in a few seconds. By the way, can you see my whites? They're coming out. I'm really excited. So I'm letting this black go out and embracing what my body wants to do, and I'm really excited to see what that's gonna look like, because I've never been any other color than just black. So embracing the gray, the wisdom. Thank you. What happened 4 months ago at the Manitou Incline, it was a very profound experience. And I guess for all of us, we all experience it. Thank you, Kat. It's gonna be very interesting to see how that's gonna look like. So about 5 months ago, probably a month or two before going to Colorado, I was going for the Moms Rise conference where I was going to speak, where I spoke. And Kat, I'm gonna have to put my, are you saying Manitou Incline? No, Manitou Incline in Colorado Springs, I think it is. I should have researched it. Thank you, Kat. Manitou. And probably my accent is saying completely different as it should be pronounced. So, yeah, Manitou Incline. So, Kat, it's part of the Pikes Peak. Okay, she's the expert. She's been there twice. So what happens is, Kat, to the steps in a mountain. Yes. What it is 20. Is it 2,600 or 27 and a few more steps altogether? And it's pretty steep. So what happens is that Kat tells me we should do the Manitou. I'm going to Colorado. She was going for the conference. She gave me the amazing and beautiful surprise. And I just love her for that, because she's been a blessing in my life. But she just texts me, it is a shit ton of steps. Whew. So someone tells me, let's do the Manitou Incline, the challenge, and without any reservation, without even thinking about it, without even researching. Can you hear the birds? So without any research, I just said yes. I just say yes. And I think it was a day after or two where Brenda actually posted a picture of and I should share. I'm going to share the picture. She actually shared the picture of comparing the incline to the Empire State Building, to the Statue of Liberty to the Eiffel Tower. And I think it's like doing the Empire State, the Statue of Liberty about 6 times, and the Empire State like twice. So it was insane. And I remember the moment she posted that picture, I said, oh shit, what did I get myself into? And I immediately started creating all these visions in my head, literally, of dying. So the paramedics are gonna drive me down because I won't be able to breathe at that altitude. And then I had a vision of my hip being shattered. Look how our brain works. It was absolutely insane. And I was seeing myself. It was like a slow motion movie. I was seeing myself, seeing all these visions, because that's what we do. We're self-aware, right? But I was allowing my fear to drive me there, to take me there consciously. And I remember almost having a hard time breathing. For good, they are. I was having a hard time breathing. I was literally already there having a hard time breathing. See how incredible our brains work. And I went straight to Juan Carlos and I shared with him the picture. And immediately he said, you can't. You can't. No, it was just a random fear. This is our brain taking us into the flight motion of, no, you cannot. Just feeding into my own fear. So I go to my husband and he feeds me his fear. He started researching because he's the researcher. And he found out that there's people that have died. People have gotten seriously hurt. And he said, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. You're in no shape to do that. And I said, no kidding. Of course, I'm in no shape. Have you ever experienced, let me go back to Archie's question. Have you ever experienced something tragic such as that before? Or just was that random fear? Yeah. So going back, I've never experienced something, well, I have experienced things. The only tragic thing that I could experience is the death of my uncle 2 years ago. I think it was. But nothing major. So he kept feeding me that fear. You are out of shape. You can't look at your hip. You won't be able to breathe. And for a second, I was allowing myself for him to feed me his fear. And all of a sudden, it was like a out-of-body experience. I detached myself from it and I said, you know what? No. Please don't feed me your fear. I know I'm out of shape. Perhaps I won't be able to do it. God knows. But I'm going to be there. And I'm going to just allow myself to experience. I'm not going to compete with anybody. I am not even with myself. I am not going there to prove anything to no one. I'm just going to be there to be completely present in the moment. Ironically, we do that to our children too as parents. Feed them our fears. Absolutely, all the time. My dad did sorry. My dad did the same thing. They're worried about us and want us to protect us. Absolutely. And we do that with not only our children, with our spouses, our dads, So it's a never cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. So in his mind, he had already convinced me that I wasn't going to do it. So I remember we had the conference on Saturday, and Saturday we were going. Now, we didn't realize until the last minute that it was actually 2.5 hours from where I was staying, and I think from Kat was staying. So we both had to drive more than 2 hours to get to this place. And I remember the night before, he calls me before going to sleep. And I told him I need to wake up early. I'm getting everything ready. I had gotten my water and all the little that I was going to take. And he asked me, are you still going to do it? Remember, you need to drive 2.5 hours. Here it goes again. You need to drive 2.5 hours over there, climb the mountain, come down the mountain. You're already tired, and you're gonna have to drive down 2.5 hours again. You're gonna be dead tired. And I said, I know, I understand, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Again, please don't feed me your fear. And he's generally he's not like that. He was genuinely afraid of something tragic happening to me, and he couldn't bear the thought. And I totally understand that. So for me, from my side, from my perspective, it was giving him the ease that I wasn't going to do anything stupid. I wasn't going to jeopardize my health, my life. So I said, I'm just going to try. When I woke up, I was genuinely scared. And I remember texting my spiritual teacher, Meenakshi. And I think it was the only person that I actually said, I am scared. And she texted me back and she said, do this smile meditation, which one day one of us will share here. And take your ring. The ring is a sujuk ring. I tried it with Kat and Brendan that day, not long, but I did show it to them, the ring. So that ring, basically, you just massage it, your fingers, which corresponds to your entire body. So thank you, Archie. Well, actually didn't express to him my fear. I was actually, I'm stepping on this thing. I expressed it to Meenakshi on a text. But that was good enough for me to ease my soul. I meditated that morning. And when I went to the car, I called Juan Carlos and I said, I'm gonna start driving. I put meditation music that actually lasts 2 hours, and I meditated the whole time until I got there. Interestingly, I was the first one to get there, and before we moved here, well, actually no, this property, but before we actually moved to the house, we used to go to a park around here, not far from here, and there was a family of deers. And every single day I was meditating outside, pretty much something like this, more trees. And this one deer would stare at me, would stop and stare at me. And at that moment, there was a lot of emotions because we're going through the purchase of this home. So it gave me a lot of calmness. When we moved here, I don't know, we think it was the same family of deers, but I actually got the chair that I'm sitting on, and I would go further up to the house, and I would sit there, and this mother deer would stare at me And Juan Carlos actually captured the moments a couple of times. When I got to this place in Colorado, I was driving down and there's 2 deers crossing the street. Everybody has stopped to allow them to walk through or cross the street. And here I am, completely mesmerized to see this magnificent creature just strolling on the city. Kind city. It's a small, quaint city, beautiful town. And they're just walking. And one of them, when he gets to the sidewalk, stops and stares at me. And I got chills. I think I was talking to a cat at the moment. Like, there's 2 deers on the street. And one of them, I captured the picture, and he kept looking at me, like saying, it felt like a divine, it was a divine download that said, you got this. It was a calm moment. And off they went. I went up where the foot of the hill is, trying to find a parking. Didn't find anything, so I went down the town and I found this place, parked, and I kept trying the credit card for 4 hours and it wouldn't go through. And I was getting desperate, I was getting annoyed, like, why this thing is not working? Shoot. Kept trying a couple of more times. The mountain, it was definitely a sign. And I remember taking a deep breath and just allowing to receive this message, to connect. And I just said, okay, try one more time. I put the credit card, and out of nowhere, I hit the buttons to add 6 hours. Because this inner knowing said, you're going to take your time. So I parked for 6, I set the parking for 6 hours. And I think it was a couple of minutes later, Kat arrived and she asked me, how long did you put on the meter? It's 6 hours. So we start walking. I think it was a mile to get to the foot of the mountain. And we got there. I mentioned to both of them, I'm not here to compete. I'm not here to compete, not even with myself. I'm just going to be present, fully present in the moment. And there were a few things that I grabbed, that I took with me, which is a jacket, an essential oil that Andreina had given me, the ring, and my earbuds. When I started walking, going on the steps, put the music. The music is it's a Reiki music that lasts about 4 hours, and that's all I played. And the moment I stepped onto the first step, it was like whoop, this incredible, amazing feeling that it's very hard to put into words, because you can't explain it. You got to experience it. And I stepped on every single one, but I was going one and stepping on the next, on right next to my foot, and staying there probably for a few seconds, say 10-15 seconds, and going on to the next step. No hurry, no thoughts, other than to look back and see where they were. I sat down probably 3 times just to look at the vastness below, and the beauty and the air. It's the power of the mountain and all the people that have gone before us. Yes. Yes. I could feel the energy of everybody. There were feet that literally were going up. There were people that were struggling going up, and people hurt coming down. But at that moment, there was no disturbance. There was no thoughts of any kind. It was just pure admiration for the soil, even the rocks. I was noticing every single thing that I came across. Nature, it was complete connectedness, oneness, wholeness. My body wasn't hurting at all. I wasn't struggling. And to this day is extremely hard for me to put into words, because there's no words to describe the peacefulness that I experienced in that mountain. And did you see? I think that's a hawk that always comes. I remember when I got to the top, there's a few times where I actually took the phone and took pictures of the steps, the milestone of 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, until I got to the top, to the very top. That's a very interesting question, Archie. That was a very interesting question, Archie. At that point, did you realize you had relinquished all fear? I was just completely present. Fully present. I don't know how to explain it. There was no thoughts. I know she's killing it with these questions. She's amazing, which is incredibly amazing with this question. And keep it coming, because that takes me back to that moment to actually experience it again. Because I haven't experienced it again. That presence, that moment in the now, completely submerged in the now, where nothing else exists but yourself, where there is no worry, there is no fear, there is no thoughts of past or future. You're just there in the moment, completely submerged with your existence. For 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. When I got to the top, I was seeing people hurting and struggling to get there. And then I realized my body is not hurting. And I was so worried to share this, because it might have feel like, oh shit, it was a piece of cake for her, when it wasn't. It was just that it was an out-of-body experience. Nothing hurt. I was entire. The only thing that I realized at that moment is like, shit, I need to pee. And I need to pee desperately. But it was like I snapped out of it, and I felt everything, all the needs that my body was craving at that moment, and that was, I need to pee. And I sat for an hour waiting for Kat and Brenda. I couldn't talk. I couldn't verbalize any words towards. Some people try to talk to me. I just smiled or laughed, because there were chipmunks around trying to go into my backpack. I could not talk. Yes, the mind controls the body and the actions. 100% spot on. I just wanted to, while I was sitting there, I wanted to go back to that feeling of total presence. It was overwhelmingly beautiful, and at the same time scared. Like, how capable are we as humans to reach this point of total connection and harmony with mind, body, and soul? Because that's exactly what it was. And it was based, and it was not based, it was invited by pure intention, where you don't allow anybody to feed into you their thoughts, their fears, their limiting beliefs. You're just there with an intention to be present. I remember coming down, and I had so much energy that I felt my legs when I was coming down the mountain. I just wanted to touch nature. I just wanted to touch the rocks. I felt like them. I felt like this energy that was coming out of the earth, the rocks, the trees, it was just feeding into me. It was the strangest and most amazing experience that I've ever felt in my life. Invited by pure intention. Whew. Yes. I felt my legs as they were, how do you call it? I forgot. Resortes in Spanish. I forgot the name. Where the spirals that goes up and down. What's that called? As a coach and spiritual healer, what words and thoughts did you leave behind for the next person that will feel your presence, energy as they ascend? Oh, Archie. Wow. Oh. As a coach and spiritual healer, what words and thoughts did you leave behind for the next person that will feel your presence, energy as they ascend? It's gonna take a few minutes. No, it's not. The word that comes to me, that it's coming right now to me, it's presence. Fully present in the moment. Present, it's the loudest. Every experience is so unique, and so what we need in that moment. Yes. Yes. The spring. Yes, Kat, it's a spring. That's what my legs felt like when I was coming down the mountain. In the moment. Yep. See, we're connected. You're reading my mind. All three of us. There's all, right now, that's all that exists. Nothing else. When I got down, I wanted to share with Kat and Brenda what I was experiencing. But at that moment, I didn't even understand it. I couldn't understand it. I wanted to verbalize, I wanted to explain it. But one, I was afraid. They would say, oh, come on. It was not easy because every experience is very different. And so I honestly was afraid of being judged and say, oh, how arrogant of you to see our human nature, the ego. To say that it was easy for you when it wasn't. It was just this beautiful out-of-body experience. And Kat said it was like childbirth for her. All of us had a very different experience, and just like Kat said again, it's what we need at that moment. It happens to be that 2 weeks later I was going into the Reiki master, or Reiki, the advanced Reiki retreat with my spiritual teachers and my spiritual sisters. And that was an incredible deep journey that removed so many layers of fear that I was still holding on from my past. But it just came out. It was like shedding so easily because I had experienced the power of being present and allowing surrender. There I experienced the freedom of letting go, the freedom of surrendering, because I had experienced that throughout the move. That's all I kept doing, surrendering to the unknown. And I experienced the power of being completely 100% present in the moment. Trusting completely in your mind, body, and soul alignment to come into one, to help you, to guide you, to enlighten you, to show you the way. Just being in complete flow. And I've been processing all these things and living all these things, all this for 4 months, trying to, or feeling the moment that I needed to express it. And here I am. I needed to be here in nature, connected, because that's what fuels my soul and what inspires me and motivates me. Deeply connected to here, to this, to nature, to the trees, to the present, to the now, to this never-ending power source that runs through us and connect us all. So, if I can share the takeaways of this incredible experience that Kat invited me to have with her 4 months ago, is that live in the present. I just got this image of symbolism, the tons of steps you took and leveling up or ascending towards another realm. Like always, spot on, Archie. There's no coincidence why you're here, because you always have read my messages, both spoken and unspoken. And I think all of us, because our Kat is incredibly amazing. She's an artist at putting this into words, into quotes, into taking out the Jews out of what we say. Is Archie, will you interview Diana, Brenda, and me on our talk show about our experience on the... Oh my God, I just got chills. I just got chills. Whew. We've never done it, the three of us at the same time. That would be extremely interesting because, whoa. Yeah. It just goes to demonstrate. That would be beautiful. I'm right on. So just let me know when you guys want to do it. I'll be in Miami, by the way, July, February 21st through March 3rd on a Sujok retreat training. So if there's things that I could share, is that when we truly let go of our fears and don't allow others to feed us their fears, their limiting beliefs, their models of reality, and we just trust that inner wisdom that we have within ourselves, we invite ourselves to be completely present in the now, seeing things for what they are, without duality, without separation. We become completely connected to this so beautiful, to this ever-present energy that feeds us and allow us to become, to embrace who we truly are. To live every single day in the present without being disturbed, interrupted by what's going on around us. When we're able to tap into that energy every single day, we reach this inner peace within us that nothing can disturb it. So that was my experience. So every single day since then, I just live in the moment, in the present, and allowed the flow of God, the energy of God, the energy of this amazing nature that feeds us, to show me the way. And I don't question it at all. Yeah, it's been a mind-blowing experience. And I've allowed myself to channel more and more these messages because they're so pure, they're so clear. That we are the only ones in this human experience that we have taken to question it because of our conditioning and yada yada. But at the end of the day, we have it within us to find this light, when we live forever present in the now. And the birds are singing. So yeah, thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. Hi, Angela. We're just finishing a very, very interesting live. That bird is saying right on. Yeah. He waited. He waited until we finished. Wow. Oh yeah. It has to do with my trip back to our trip back to Colorado in October. And some people, here's another thing, some people might not understand your life, what are you about, and that's okay. When you awaken to this level, for lack of a better word, you're gonna start doing things that perhaps you are gonna question it and say, oh wait, and it's okay. Just gotta trust. So my friends, thank you so much. Kat, thank you so much. Archie, thank you so much. You gave us some incredible, amazing questions, like always. And Kat, thank you for holding this space for the words, the queen of words right here to come out and flow. Thank you for holding that space as we share this experience. And that interview, that live would be incredibly amazing. So yeah, I don't know what will come out. I don't know what we'll channel. I don't know how we're going to be, what we're gonna say, but we definitely gonna be divinely guided. I always trust that. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And yes, whoever wants to catch that live, that the beginning, go right ahead. Exactly what is supposed to come out. Well, yes. When I truly became awakened, I stopped worrying about what others thought of my life. I began to start to think how my life was meant to be for others' life. And I've seen it evolve. And that's been amazing for all of you, truly. This is an incredible group of awakened women, and it's been incredible to watch. So thank you for allowing me into your world to witness that. And thank you for being in my world and holding that sacred space for me to always dig deeper and deeper so I can share, because all of us are sharing the path for others that will come after us. And between us all, we can shift the world, we can change the world to be more loving and compassionate and accepting. I truly believe that. So forever present, here on. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. And have an amazing day. You gals. And I'm gonna stay a little while here to hear the birds. Besote. Ciao, ciao. Love you.